Okay. All right. So let me ask you this. So in the time of the pandemic, and I know that you are definitely culturally rooted in times of past pandemics, did people culturally deal with pandemics, or what suggestions can you give to people as far as those things? What should they do?
Okay, so that's a great question. I think our society is so busy, busy, busy. But what I have learned is sometimes when we don't sit down voluntarily, the universe sits us down. So
Definitely.
during the pandemic, when people were like, oh, you could do an online class and this, that, and the other, I thought about it for a second. But then I said, how many times do we get this gift to not be busy? And so one thing during a pandemic, we need to understand that sometimes you got to be still. Sometimes you have to reflect. Sometimes you have to go back and review your lessons and your blessings. Had I been busy, busy, busy jumping into online, Yemenjah's gifts would not be Yemenjah's gifts. I would still be working towards it. So in the pandemic, the basic thing that we need to do is understand that sitting still is nothing wrong with it. We need it to tune into our purpose, to tune into our natural selves and our gifts. I used to always say my hands were on backwards. I'm in here making shaker rays, making oils, making belts because I had a chance to sit still. So that's lesson number one. Number two is not to fall into the hype. Our government, yes, there is a real concern, but media sells when there is a hype. If we are always grounded in what we do, we can detach emotionally from everything that's going on and make the best decisions for our family. And so that's what the pandemic has given personally to my family. We've been gardening, we've been grounding, getting that recharge. And so when typical things like when we're like, oh, there's no food in the grocery store, we started gardening. We have been eating out the garden all summer. So it's important to remember that don't buy into the hype. If we are grounded, if we are solid, no matter what's going on around us, we're going to make it. This is not the first pandemic, and it's not going to be the last.
Yes, exactly. Are there any oils or herbs or things that you suggest to clear your space to help protect you from the pandemic?
Okay, so the boost oil is really good. That's a natural just way to boost your immune system. Okay. So the boost oil is one of the things that's really good. And they all are the breathe oil. If anybody has trouble with breathing, and it's a natural way to do that. A lot of things that we don't know is in the medical field, they using this natural stuff.
They just rename
They're using this natural stuff. So, but you're getting a synthetic version of it. So a lot of the things, y'all, if we just go back to our traditions, go back to our roots, and even with the pandemic rosemary, they use that in all the other pandemics to keep the air clean and to keep down the spread of viruses. So I burn my rosemary oil, which is also good for clearing out your chest. And I do that when I go in spaces, when people come in my spaces. So either putting the rosemary in an oil burner or burning the rosemary cleans and clears your space. People think, oh, it's just like what they call just a spiritual thing. It's a health thing, which physical, spiritual, all of that is connected.
It is.
So I would definitely recommend the boost oil. The breathe oil is good as well because it contains the rosemary. But I would say get some rosemary, put in your burner, keep your space clean around you, and burn a little rosemary. So now, those are the two oils.
For all your oils, they're all topical, right? So they're to wear on your body, right?
Yes, and you have to every oil comes with suggested ways to use it. Okay. And a lot of my people have been so creative. I've seen them put them in baths. I had one mama, Peaceful Vibes is what she loved. So she puts it in dryer sheets and her clothes smell like the Peaceful Vibe. So it's all, yes. So you can do bathtubs. Again, the oil spritzes. So you can take it and spritz with you, spritz all around. So yes, they are all topical. Mm-hmm.
All right. So what do you have coming up? Do you have anything in particular that you have coming up?
Other than doing just wonderful things like you and other entrepreneurs in the city, I will also actually be starting an abundance in movement class. It'll be the 7th day of the month at 7 o'clock. we're going to do monthly abundance and movement classes. And so for those, I teach dance, I teach African dance, but at the college, I've always taught that music and dance was the gateway to something else. And so when I was teaching at VCU, we did a dance as a healing class. And so it was so amazing to have these young people come and cry on my shoulder and tell me how much the class had relieved them. And so since some of them have reached out to me, I thought it was important to continue to give them the space. So the abundance and movement class will be a dance class, but it'll also be a class in, we'll do little things to ground ourselves. We'll do journal writing, and we will do those exercises that help us create abundance in our life, because we can magnetize anything we want. And so the dance is the gateway to what we can pull ourselves into. So yes, that'll be coming up. It's posted on the website.
All right. And so how do people get in contact with you with all these wonderful oils and the dance class? How do they get in contact with you?
You can go, I'm on Instagram, and you can also go to my website, YemenJazzGifts.com. And when you go mobile, it has the little icons on the side where you can do phone, email, all of those things. So Instagram, and then directly to the website, you can contact me. All my information is there.
Okay, well, I thank you so very much for participating. I thank you for coming and stopping in and sharing your gifts, Yemen Jazz gifts with us. Got anything else?
No, that's it. Just check out the website. It's something for everyone. Weekly motivational blogs. Parents, there's an education portal. If you need help with anything going on with your babies, I'm about to start an Arts Infuse YouTube channel where I'm working with K through 6 and maybe high schoolers. We're going to be reading, writing, all of that with Arts Infuse, moving, dancing. So we have a lot of good things coming up, and I'm so excited to be able to share these gifts with the community.
I forgot. Let's add that one more thing. So can you give everybody your background as far as what you do? What's your main gig? We know what your side gig is. What's your main gig?
My main gig. Ooh, that's a loose term. I am I'm an educational contractor. So everything I do is arts, culture, and education. But for some people, I do that. The platform they come in the door is arts. I do storytelling. For some people, it's culture. They just want to take cultural classes. And so I'll do that. And for some people, it's education. So I am a teacher. I teach every single thing. From English to Arts Infuse, I teach driving school, CPR, whatever. People come to me when they need a curriculum. It doesn't matter what it is. I do curriculum development on things I never knew I could do. So I'm just an educator. I love just 10 years of traditional studies, and I just like to wrap that into making things culturally relevant from pre-K all the way up to adults. So I'm just an educator at heart, and it just manifests itself in different ways: arts, culture, education. So that's what I am, and that's what I do.
All right. And on that, we're going to